Good evening, everybody. My name is Iain Mason, and welcome to the Sensing Spirituality Show, brought to you in association with A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, where with love we welcome you. Now, I hope you've all had a happy week and you're having a happy Tuesday. The weather's a little bit cooler here in the UK, and that's a little more pleasant, I can tell you. So, this evening, I'd like just to open up with that my intention for next week, but I need you all to buy into this, is that I'd like to offer up a US Forces special show. So I'm looking for anybody in connection with the Forces that's ever served the US Forces to be prepared to dial into the show and be open for a reading. Maybe they've got a need for it, maybe they're just curious, but it's something that I would like to dedicate back to the US for the opportunity that it's given for me to be able to broadcast this show. So love with love, that's how I'd like to look at it. So please, please, please pass that around, send the message, pass it around on social media, and let's get that thing going. Meanwhile, back to tonight. Now, I've had an interesting week, actually, and you know what? Sometimes we feel that we might be, on some level, maybe evolved as spiritual people, and then I realise that there are occasions where I'm a bit of a silly Billy. At least that's the words I'm allowed to say on the radio. And you put your foot in it, basically. What can you do? Drop the ball, call it what you will. So I go down to the shops today, right? I buy these new glasses. It's all good. And then things don't go quite right, and I get myself into a little bit of a stressy state, and then I find I react in my usual panicky way. Now, do you know what? It doesn't really matter. Whatever the situation is, whether it's a situation with a loved one or a relationship at work, you don't realise until you're in the thick of it, in free flow, that you've actually not held your spiritual guru space, you've dropped into your silly Billy space. So things went a bit wonky, and I panicked. And it brought some memories back for me that when you grow up with, or you are surrounded by people that are quite strong personalities, not bullies, I'm not talking about those nasty bullies, but people that are just have quite strong personalities, sometimes they can be a little bit overbearing. Now, even if you've left them behind in your past, sometimes you still feel the ripple effects of all of that. And it's a really funny feeling because it catches you on the blind side. And everyone tells you to let go and move on. Well, sometimes it just ain't that easy, because in our human experience, you know what? We forget. We focus on the issues, the panic, the reactions that we're having, and we don't give ourselves that opportunity to get lost in the experience. Now, what are you talking about, you crazed bull lunatic, I hear you say. And what I'm saying is in that flat, we just switch off. We're on autopilot. We keep going and going and going with this effective self-harm. We beat ourselves up. That's what we do. But if you allow yourself to get lost in the experience, if you just take a breath and go, okay, I'm here. I was a silly Billy. I did do that. But if you allow yourself to be with the situation and just say, I need to look at this from a different way because I don't feel good right now. My stomach's in a knot. My head's spinning. The only way you're going to do that is to give yourself a little bit of distance, because when you focus on the problem that you've got, the challenge, whatever it is, it drags you further and further into it. It's like a magnet. And then we kind of get pulled into this thing that we then say we can't get out of. So this hashtag let go thing, you know, it isn't always easy, but if we can create that little bit of space and just get lost in the experience, when we don't have anything to cling to, that would be our panic. All we've got is what we are literally experiencing. So we have no choice in a way to let the experience pass through us. And they come through us just like the sea lapping at the shore. And we feel that it resonates in us. We're aware of the panic. We're aware of the hysteria, but more importantly, because we can see it, we can separate ourselves from it. And in separating ourselves from it, we can just take that time to gather ourselves and choose a different reaction, not react the same way, and not be a silly Billy. And what I realized today was that some of this stuff went back to my childhood, and I had to put my hands up to that. And in other ways, I had that opportunity when I created that space to say, Iain, it's going to be okay. These people are going to help you sort your specs out. You're going to get it resolved. just see yourself walking out of that shop with a big smile on your face with everything resolved. And you know what? I felt every emotion known to mankind, I reckon. It was a real old roller coaster, but I survived. I got through it. Now, you can apply that to any situation in your life. And I'm not suggesting that life is all rosy tainted or rose tinted even. But what I am saying to you is that you will always survive and move on. So just don't get stuck in that moment. So I really hope that resonates with you all. And I share that with love. And I just wanted to be really, really honest that with all the work that I do, and I do a lot of work on myself daily, I dropped the ball, and I did today. And you know what? I hope in some ways that's just a little tool that can help you just get through each moment when each situation comes up. Because you see, when you're lost in the experience, you've got no barriers up to anything. So the experiences pass through you and they go on their own because they don't feel good, and you let them go by default. And I reckon that's worth sharing with you. Now, I know we have Ivona, if I've said that correctly, on the line, and we're going to welcome even Ivona to the show. So welcome, Ivona. How are you, my lovely, this evening?
Hello.
Hello, Ivona. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear.
I wanted to reach out to you is because I have just had some concerns about my relationship with this person I've just been getting to know over the past few months, and he seems to go back and forth with me and just doesn't seem unsure about our connection, but he seems to care for me, you know, and we have a great time together. His name is Dan.
Okay. Well, should we just start off, Ivona, with first of all, have I got your name right?
Yeah, it's Ivona.
Ivona. Okay, perfect. I don't want to offend you. So most important, my darling. Well, look, excuse me. Let's sense what's around you, and feel that situation first, and see where we go from there. Is that all right with you?
I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. I guess so.
Perfect. Now that's all good. That's what we like. Now, if what I'm feeling is correct, what I want to say to you is, okay, I just want to see where I'm going with this. Right. Okay. All right. Now, would you understand, or would it make sense for you that in the past you've had people that haven't either been completely straight with you on a relationship level, or been, what I want to say, and I don't mean honest in a negative way, but been straightforward with letting you know where you stand?
Sure. Yeah, that's been an issue.
Yeah.
With people in general, but with him as well.
Yes. Okay. And would you understand that in the last 3 years in your life with relationships, this has become almost more of an awareness for you than it was before?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Okay.
That's why I was hoping for something different.
Yeah. No. I okay, because that's just what I can feel and sense around you. Now, I'm
right
also getting. Okay, perfect. That's good, because we want to help you. You see. Now, would you understand? What I want to say is a mother figure in spirit for you. So I need to either go mum or grandmother with this. It feels more grandmothery for me, and I want to acknowledge a shorter lady that would be a little fuller in figure for you, that comes forward.
Pass on.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure who you're referencing to.
Okay, do you understand a figure like a mother figure for you that would have passed and be in spirit, that feels to me like she's mum's mum and would be a shorter lady, and she's got a nice shape to her, some curves?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, you don't understand her?
I don't know who you're referencing to, and it's not necessarily what I was wanting to talk about. So I don't know who you're talking to or who that person is. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, look, we'll leave that there. It's just I just need to let you know that I've got that connection for you, who's just trying to come through and give you a link in there. But okay. All right. Well,
what did they want to say? I don't understand.
That's all right. Have you had a mediumistic? That's all right. Have you had a reading with a medium before?
Well, I wasn't trying to have a medium reading.
Okay, then we won't do that. That's all right. Okay, so we'll sense what's around you then. Okay. Right.
I wanted more specifically to know about this one particular person.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now, do you understand at the moment with him that he's back and forth and he's a little bit unsettled in himself?
Well, I don't know, because he tells me what it is that he wants and how he feels. But sometimes I wonder if he's just not being authentic with me or himself.
Okay. Do you understand him going back and forth with that, though? So although he's communicating it to you, it's not that he's actually kind of carrying it forward or giving it the momentum that you would like, so it becomes one thing or the other.
I see.
Does that resonate for you?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just get this funny feeling that life is very much up and down for him, and there's a lot more going on in the background, and that's not to worry you. That's just the ups and downs of life. And he's not quite in a position to be able to come forward for you and give you everything you want. And it actually feels as much in time communicating, because this relationship feels to me like it's picked up speed in the last couple of months, but it's almost not quite got the momentum that you would like. Would you understand that?
Yeah, sure. I just wonder, essentially, if all is lost, or if I should move on, or if it's
well, what I feel with it. Okay, the feeling that I get is a bit like square pegs in round holes, and I feel at the moment that he needs a little bit of room to manoeuvre. So you almost, not to give him space, but need to kind of either roll with him or be in quite a compassionate sort of situation with him. That's what I'm feeling, and being able to sort of let him know that you're there and you are there to sort of work with him and support him. Now, what I want to say to you is that's all very well and good, but you must be aware of the boundaries that you draw for yourself in terms of things going on, because you must make it very, very clear about what you see or need from him, so that he understands what the deal is, basically. Because I just feel that he's in need of that support from you, and that's where you'll build the bond with him, because he feels a little bit out of sorts, almost a little bit off balance. I don't want to say vulnerable, because it doesn't feel like that, but it just feels like he's almost juggling a lot and got a lot on his plate, and actually he's not communicating that terribly well. And I can just see that the conversations are more snatched moments than they are longer conversations. And that's where I feel for you're having difficulty sort of building the connection, because you can't get that time, and he's a little distracted, for want of a choice of words. And that's what I feel about that. Does that sort of resonate for you?
Yeah, it does. So you think that he wants me to do something about this, or just to be present?
No. What I feel, Ivana, is that he very much is a guy that almost needs to be settled and comfortable in his space. He takes time to settle. He needs that support there. And if sometimes it's difficult, because we feel that we give more than we receive. Not that you give to get, but obviously this is a relationship, so it needs to. It needs to relate.
It makes it
and that's
difficult for me to even be present sometimes, because it feels still like I'm giving. I don't want to perpetuate the feeling of imbalance, even though I know he doesn't want to either. So
no, I understand that, but I've just got this sense of him in a bit of a sort of like a higgledy-piggledy time, and just needing that support right now. And I do feel that will settle down. I just feel he's got a tricky couple of months around him, And
Sure.
it's
I
very
know
much...
what's going on with him that causes all that,
Okay.
too. So I'm not completely in the dark or disconnected.
No.
But I struggle with the idea of what is the right thing to do aside from being compassionate. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm losing an opportunity or not being true to myself even. And so I kind of wonder what to expect, and that's the silly part of me that wanted to talk to you about that today, is like, what can I expect from the situation, given that I'm willing to be there and hold space for a person while they go through all this stuff.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, you make an investment in a relationship, which we're all old enough and wise enough to understand. But what I want to say to you is that it's really, really important, though, that you have some communication and some time back for yourself. So it's really important that you communicate to him that, that's fine and I'm here. But at the same time, it needs to kind of come back from you as well. So we relate to one another. And, you pass that very clear message that you get that as well. And if you are still unsure, if you go through over these next couple of months as you understand what that is, then what I would say to you is you just need to sit quietly after each conversation and listen to your heart. Just try and tune into your heart and see what your heart's communicating to you. Understand where those feelings are, whether that resonates in your body. Okay. And then ask yourself those questions about, am I happy to sit with this? And that's what I would say, not your head. Listen to your heart and go with your heart. So I really, really, really hope that helps you. And I wish you the very, very best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so good luck. And thank you for calling in, Ivona. And we now have Michelle in Queensland, Australia. Good evening, Michelle. How are you, my darling?
Hello, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, actually. I'm going to scratch my nose. I've got a very itchy nose. Excuse me. Oh, dear me.
You can hear me all right?
I can hear you beautifully. How is it that I may be able to help you this evening?
Well, my question is about whether you can see anything in my path change-wise, particularly about moving to a different city or even country, and career. Any changes coming up?
Okay. All right. Let me just look in. Let's just look into you. It won't hurt. Just a little joke there. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Do you understand that if I say to you that you're a little bit out of sync at the moment in terms of having a plan of what you want to do? So you've got lots of ideas that are going on for you, but almost either nothing firmed up as either an intention that you are aiming for, and it being more of like a wish for change rather than a plan for change.
Perhaps. I think that you're right, definitely the first part, where there's lots of ideas and there's no firm decision.
No, okay.
I'm usually good at decisions.
Yeah, but I want to say to you as well that I feel that the way that you operate or function with your work is, how can I put this? It is almost that whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve, and you're quite in demand for what you do. So if you put your CV out there for a job or you applied for something, pretty much you always get on the list for a conversation or an interview. Would that be right?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Because
I think really I work for myself.
Yeah, but I just feel that you can make anything you want to happen. Okay, if you set your mind to it and you set that intention for yourself, which is why what I'm seeing around you is, it's like I can see the chaos of your life, and I mean that in a really loving way, because I just see that there's lots of opportunity around you, but you've really got to decide what you want. Now, actually, what I can see for you, yeah, good, because what I can see for you, would you understand why Paris could be an option for you, or connections with Paris?
Yeah, look, I would understand almost any country would be an option for me. That's why this is such a hard decision. Can't you decide for me?
Not exactly, but I can share with you. I can share with you what I can see, my lovely. But I actually am seeing the words Paris, and I can see the Eiffel Tower. So there must be some connection with either what you're thinking or a direction that you want to go in, or the industry that you work in, that would have links, associations, or a good connection with Paris for.
Yes, there is some.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because that comes up quite
also
strongly.
Also, the Caribbean.
Okay, but the Paris
How
thing
do you
is very
feel
strong.
about that?
Okay, give me one moment. Now, what I'll say to you is with the Paris thing, I do feel that there are opportunities or discussions to be had with that, but they are not until later in the year. And I feel they're more around the September time, because I feel quite autumny, or fall as some people call it, with that, when those discussions start to come forward. With the Caribbean, as you've brought that to me, what I'm seeing is that could almost be something that you could do tomorrow. So if you really wanted to hop on the plane and go, you could do. So I very much feel that it's almost too easy for you, but it's more of a short-term solution. And the questions that you've got in your mind is, do I want that upheaval for the short term, where I might like something more in the medium term that gives me some stability? Because I don't really want to keep hopping here and there, because I'm seeing that you've moved around quite a lot sometimes. You might have done 2 or 3 months here, 2 or 3 months there. And it's about you getting your roots down somewhere and not having to move about as much. Would that make sense for you?
Sort of, yes.
Okay, all right.
I think I've lived in the same place for a very long time, but I've traveled a lot with my career.
Yes, I can see that. But it's very much about you aren't really somebody to stay put in one place on like a home level. So there is the adventure side and the new experiences that drives you. And I don't feel that the Caribbean would be a new or as new experience as Paris would be for you, because it feels very much that there is either more opportunity, or it's a little bit more, I don't want to say professional, but it almost feels a little bit more polished with the French connection there. And I very much feel that you are about to take what you do to the next level, because you need to either better yourself in some way, or really, really let yourself loose on the world and show the world what you can do. And I feel that you need a slightly more elevated forum to do that, rather than perhaps, and there's nothing wrong with the Caribbean, but that being almost too easy for you, but not yielding you the opportunity for you to project yourself as your heart desires. So I want to say to you very much that it's important that you focus on where you feel your vision of what you see for yourself, and what you literally feel is next for you, to use that as the compass to guide you to where you need to be. And my feeling actually with the Caribbean is that feels like I've been there, done that. It doesn't feel that environment would bring anything new for you. And I feel that you need to take next steps for you to evolve you. But I do feel that there will be a Paris connection, or conversations in connection with Paris coming up. So do watch out for those. And, I really, really hope that resonates with you. Is there anything else around that you would like to ask?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's all very interesting. I think
okay. And I just want to say to you, does the letter F have significance for a name around work for you as well?
The letter F, did you say?
Yeah, F for Freddie, or F for Faith. I just feel that there's a connection with an F, and this feels significant for me, and I need to give you that.
There's Fred in Paris.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amazing.
So,
okay.
You know what?
I haven't thought of Paris. I've thought of Melbourne. I've thought of Caribbean. I've even thought of America. But Paris I didn't think of. And I did really recently, in the last few days, get an email from someone I know in my industry in Paris called Fred.
There we go. So I feel that you've got a little journey or a little exploration there to do. So you go, and we use a word. You're gonna smash it. You know, I know that you excel at whatever you do. In the UK, we say you're going to smash it, and I know that. But I do feel that you almost need to come a little bit out of your comfort zone and just go for it. So, with all the love and best wishes I have for you, go do your thing.
Thank you very much. You too.
You're welcome. You take care now. Lots of love. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it funny how it works when we look what we call introspectively into people's lives and what goes on for them, and just intuitively what comes. And I can only encourage you from that last reading particularly just to be very open and to live your life like that. And going back to how I opened the show with, go through each moment like that. It's never too late. As soon as you become aware you are being a silly Billy, as I was earlier, just go, okay, I choose not to be a silly Billy. Now, what do I feel about this? Because intuitively there, that link that we had in that last reading, that came, and that actually gave our last caller the answers that she wanted. So, you know, go in peace, go in joy, go in love. It's really important. Enjoy the experiences that you've got. And there's a lovely saying that says, thanks for everything, I have no complaints whatsoever. Live your life like that. I really hope that helps you. Please share the Special Forces option for next week so we can make that happen, and have a fantastic week ahead and stay safe. With lots of love, I leave you this evening. God bless. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.